Welcome. I'm here with my friend Slaw. Hello. You'll see more of him a little later on. This is a mini lecture on Men's Men and Women's Women by Steve Craig. Craig talks about gendered television and gendered commercials. He points out that advertisers want to air their television commercials at a time when their target demographic will be watching. Men and women tend to have predictable viewing habits. Men often watch sports on the weekends, so advertisers gear the commercials they show during sports toward a male audience. So we see commercials for beer, cars, other sports, and so on. Women traditionally often make up the audience on weekday afternoons, so commercials at that time are aimed at women who work at home. We see commercials for diapers, makeup, and cleaning products. Gendered television is the idea that certain shows are created for women and other shows are created for men. Gendered commercials then are those ads that are created especially for women and those that are created especially for men. Craig asserts, advertisers therefore portray different images to men and women in order to exploit the different deep-seated motivations and anxieties connected to gender identity. Craig goes on to discuss 4 categories of gendered commercials that we often see. The first one he calls Men's Men, and in this type of commercial we see freedom, escapism, camaraderie between men, few or even no women. The men are heterosexual, so we always see them in groups of 3 or more. We see freedom from commitment, and we see adventure seeking. Craig says the escapism and male camaraderie promised in this commercial are simply an extension of the escapism and camaraderie men enjoy when they watch and vicariously participate in weekend sports on television. Our example for Men's Men is a 2019 Ram truck commercial, and we're going to see male camaraderie. There's only one woman. We will see escapism, adventurous images and music, and there's a truck on crashing ocean waves, so we will be seeing fantasy. Now you can watch the 2019 Ram truck commercial. The next category is Men's Women. This type of commercial shows physically attractive women. They're usually blonde, they're young and white, they're almost always dressed seductively. We see them outside the home. They appear to be sexually available, and they represent fantasy. Craig tells us the main point is that the product has been connected, however briefly, with the pleasure of this fantasy. It is tied to the pleasurable imaginings of a narrative extended beyond that which is explicitly seen. Our example for Men's Women is a Carl's Jr. commercial. And you will see that the woman is young and white. She's blonde. Her outfit starts out nice and then becomes somewhat naughty. The man at the next car gawks at this fantasy woman while ignoring his regular-looking girlfriend or wife. So now you can watch the Carl's Jr. commercial. Craig's third category is Women's Women. In this type of commercial, we see the desire to become physically attractive. And women want to remain attractive because they want to keep their husband's interest. This commercial often shows that dieting still allows for fun, and this commercial is usually narrated by a female announcer. Craig notes, implicit also is her hatred of her own overweight body, a body that no longer measures up to the idealized woman promoted by the patriarchy. Our example for Women's Women is a 1999 LA weight loss commercial. So we will see the first woman they show is attractive to men. Then we see photos in the background that show the next woman's connection to her family. Another woman has regained her idealistic 18-year-old figure. And another woman says she's never hungry on the program, which shows us that the diet is not painful. Now you can watch the LA weight loss commercial. Finally, our fourth category is women's men. And this type of commercial is like a 30-second romance novel. The man is strong yet sensitive, he's vulnerable, he's active, and the relationship that we see looks like a lasting one. Craig says, the product is the source of promised fantasy fulfillment, not only sexual fulfillment, but also the security of a caring relationship, one that allows her to be liberated, but not too liberated. The example for Women's Men is a Zales Jewelers commercial. And we will see that this commercial is indeed like a 30-second romance novel. We see the man strong, yet sensitive and vulnerable. He's shown as being active. You'll see him climbing and jumping. The man is willing to go to any lengths to romance the woman. And we have a certainty that the relationship or marriage will last long after the commercial is over. So now you can watch the Zales Jewelers commercial. Craig's conclusion. Advertisers seem to have no compunction about capitalizing on dehumanizing gender stereotypes. Entire industries, automotive, cosmetics, fashion, are predicated on the assumption that men and women will continue behaving according to their stereotypes. Commercials for women therefore act to reinforce patriarchy. Commercials for men need only reinforce masculinity under patriarchy. All right. Mr. Sloth is here. Goodbye. Nice to meet you. And see you soon.